Protein bars are everywhere, but which ones are actually worth your money? Today I've got some of the most popular brands you'll find on the shelves, and I'm going to be ranking them from best to worst. So every bar I have, I'm going to be ranking them on two things. Most importantly, taste, and secondly, nutritional value. So before we start, I'm going to guess what's going to be my favorite bar. And I've been eyeing off the raw bar. It's the chocolate crunch flavor. It feels dense and looks really good, so I'm going to leave that towards the end, and hopefully I'm right, and it's going to be sitting at the top. So let's get straight into it. First off, I'm going to do a little bit of a lucky dip to see what I'll get first. We have the BSC soft protein bar, violet crumble flavor, choc mint. So if we look at the back of this one, it's got 214 calories and 16.4 grams of protein. Not super high on the protein, but still a decent chunk. That's a great start there. Super soft bar, the mint and chocolate flavor comes through. The only thing is, it's a little bit too chewy. I took about 20 seconds just to chew one bite there. So our first bar, I'm gonna rank that as a B. Like I said, solid start. I'm gonna sit my raw bar to the side so I don't pick that. So our second bar we're gonna go for is My Muscle Chef. It's the raspberry and white chocolate flavor. I absolutely love raspberry and white chocolate in pretty much anything. A little bit of a rice bubble, light flavored bar, certainly not dense. Okay, that's not the best bar there. It falls apart, it's a little bit chalky. The raspberry flavor's there, but the white chocolate, non-existent. Certainly not my favorite, even though I've only had one bar. It's not gonna be my favorite, I'm gonna rank that as a D. On to our third bar. While we got a few here, I might as well do another lucky dip. I just realized I got a little bit ahead of myself and didn't talk about the calories and macros in the last one. 175 calories and 22 grams of protein. That probably explains why it tasted a little bit shitty. All right, back to our BSC cookie dough flavor. Looking at the calories here, we got 205 calories and 19.2 grams of protein. So more protein and less calories than the other BSC one. It's not as good as the mint one. It is chewy. The top layer is almost melting in your mouth. The bottom layer, a little bit hard, the typical chewy protein. Chocolate, very flavorful. Cookie dough, not as much. Like I said, it's not as good as the mint one. I'm gonna rank this one a C. Almost a B, but C. All right, for our fifth bar, we got the raw bar, white choc macadamia flavor. So here we got 19.4 grams of protein, but 277 calories. So certainly the highest calorie bar we've had so far. And the fat is pretty high, sitting at about 12 grams. Looks a little bit more like a biscuit, this one. Feels dry. Okay, that's not my favorite bar. It's a little bit chalky, not very tasteful. Certainly no macadamia, white chocolate I think it was. Yeah, white choc macadamia, no flavor at all. And yeah, very chalky. Wouldn't recommend this one. Gonna rank that one F. Next up, we have Muscle Nation Cheesecake Protein Bar. We've got 179 calories and 12.1 grams of protein. So low on the protein side. I wouldn't even call that a protein bar. Looks good. That's a great flavor. Rich, flavorful with the lemon. And the texture, it's pretty nice. A little bit chewy. On top, it's a bit softer. But with protein at 12.1 grams, there's no way that's gonna be an A or S tier. Tasteful, yes. Protein, low. I'm gonna put that in the B tier. Up next, we got another lemon flavor, the cold pressed or fiber boost bar. I think these are going a little bit viral for air frying them and they puff up. I'm not gonna be doing that because if I want a protein bar, I just wanna grab it and eat it. Looking at the calories, 142 calories. So really low in the calorie department, which is great. 21.1 grams of protein, which is pretty high for a protein bar. There's some S tier macros there. This one looks a bit sticky. I can see why the calories are low on that one. It's a little bit grainy. I thought it was gonna be chewy. It's not, it just breaks apart pretty fast. Grainy, certainly not my favorite. Like I said, nutritional value, great. But I'm gonna have to rank this a C. All right, we got Grenade next. I used to absolutely love these when I first started at the gym. We got salted peanut flavor. 262 calories, so pretty high on the calories. 19.7 grams of protein. The fat's a little bit higher in this one than the other bars at 12 grams. So makes sense for the calories high. I love that. That's delicious. On top, it's got the peanut flavoring, which is pretty much just like peanut butter, but it's not sticky or anything like that. The bottom's chewy, doesn't break apart in your mouth. And the white chocolate, there's a good amount of it, probably why the calories are a little bit higher. Unfortunately, I can't go S tier because of the nutritional value. It's pretty high in calories. That's a very solid bar though, and my favorite so far. I'm gonna give that an A. Next up, we have Caramel Choc Chunk from Quest. 179 calories, 20 grams of protein. So decent on the nutritional value there. I've had a few Quest bars, but I've never actually had this flavor. Typical Quest, looks chewy. So dense and fudgy like most Quest bars are. Flavor, good. Not amazing, but certainly a good flavor. Looking at the nutritional value, the taste, the texture is a little bit fudgy. I'm gonna give that one a C. Our next bar is the Musashi high protein bars. So these ones have got 45 grams of protein. So absolutely great with the protein, and the calories are 308 calories, which is pretty good. Considering the protein amount and how large these bars are, the nutritional value is great. It's probably some of the best we've had so far. So the outside, chocolate bit, rich, good flavor, creamy in the mouth, melts in your mouth, as chocolate probably should. Inside, it is a bit dense and breaks apart, not super flavorful. So the chocolate's a win, but the inside, the main part, it's not. Probably to be expected when the calories and protein are that good. I don't know if it's just because I know the protein's high, I want to give it higher, and I probably will. It's subjective. So I'm gonna give this one a B. And purely because the taste isn't that bad, but the nutritional value is so damn good on this. Like 45 grams of protein for a protein bar, you're not gonna find much better than that. Our next bar is a Cranked chocolate mud cake flavor. We've got 211 calories and 20.6 grams of protein. So sitting pretty average. That one surprised me there. I thought it was gonna be dry in the middle and just break apart, but it's quite sticky and fudgy, which I really like that from, especially a chocolate protein bar. I guess that's why it's a mud cake. The flavor isn't super, super high, but it's a good flavor. I'd like a bit more personally, especially when I'm trying to eat something chocolatey, I really want to taste that chocolate flavor. Like I said, nutritional value is pretty average on this. Like not good, not bad. Flavor, same there. It's not great, but certainly not bad. I'm gonna rank this a C. All right, we have another Musashi bar here. It's not a high protein one. This is just a low protein one. So sitting at 20 grams of protein and 239 calories. So calories are a little bit higher than most bars, but the protein's definitely there. We have got the cinnamon scroll flavor. That flavor is really good. Some of the best flavor we've had so far. Unfortunately, it's a little bit gritty, breaks apart, but the flavor, good. So being a little bit higher on the calorie side, protein's decent, the flavor, amazing, but like I said, a little bit gritty, falls apart. I can't go an A. I'm gonna have to go a B with this. All right, we got another Quest bar here. We got cookies and cream, 18 grams of protein and 177 calories, which in my opinion is pretty good. I've never had this flavor either. Flavor's good there, rich with the chocolate, little bit of cookie. It's good to feel the texture, the crunch of the cookie in there. Not as chewy as the last Quest bar, and it's actually a little bit too dry, I think. But overall, solid. Nutritional value, above average. Taste, average. I'm gonna say B tier here. It surprised me. All right, now we got something a bit different. We got a collagen protein bar. So it's a jelly bar and it's a raspberry flavor. So it's chocolate with a jelly filling, which is the collagen protein. It's very small, a lot smaller than I thought. I kind of like the stickiness, chewiness of that collagen protein, but the flavor's shocking, absolutely shocking. I don't think I read off the macros. 20 grams of protein, 175 calories. So nutritional value, definitely above average, but the taste, it's shocking. I'm gonna have to rank that one a D tier. I wouldn't go for the soft protein bars. All right, our next one's another BSC Violet Crumble bar. This one's caramel honeycomb. So I love honeycomb, and caramel is also pretty good. I got a little bit of the honeycomb, which was really nice. Texture, yes, but the taste, yum. Unfortunately, dry, like most of them have been. A bit dry, but the chewy texture is nice, and there's a lot of chocolate on this one. Again, I forgot the nutritional value. 213 calories and 16.1 grams of protein. So a little bit lower on the protein side, and the calories are sitting about average there. So I'd probably say below average, just below average on the nutritional value, but the taste, slightly above average. I'm gonna give this one a C. All right, our next one's Choc Peanut Butter by Muscle Nation. It's a crisp bar, 204 calories and 12.7 grams of protein. Barely a protein bar, bugger all protein. So below average on the nutritional value. Flavor, delicious. I love peanut butter, and I can definitely taste it. There are peanuts through it, which I'm getting the good texture crunch from them. Crisps, they stick together, which is nice, but slightly dry still. With the nutritional value being so poor on this one, I'm gonna put it at a D just for that, but the taste, I think the taste is above average. Unfortunately, the 12.1 grams protein, I'm still keeping it in D. Up next, we have another Muscle Nation. I have had this one before, a long time ago. It's a white choc raspberry. And like I said, white choc and raspberry, I love. So before we get into it, 203 calories and 15.7 grams of protein. A little bit low on the protein side, sitting about average in the calories, slightly higher considering the protein. Okay, the raspberry sits on top there like a jam. Nice fruity flavor there. Chewy bar, doesn't fall apart, so it's not dry, and the white chocolate I like. Taste-wise, really good. Protein sits a little bit lower. I'm gonna put this one in the B tier. All right, we got another one of our Fiber Boost bars, the maple pancake flavor. Nutrition-wise, 137 calories and 21 grams of protein. That nutritional value is S tier. Very sticky, but dry. You can see how it breaks apart. Okay. Not as dry as the last one of this bar. The flavor, maple, yes, but it's having a weird aftertaste. I guess that's the pancake. I'm not a fan of it, but certainly better than the last bar. With such great nutritional value, and honestly, the taste is not the worst. I'm gonna give this one a B. All right, we got another grenade here. We got the Oreo flavor. I have not had the Oreo flavor. Nutrition-wise, 253 calories, a little bit higher, and 21 grams of protein. So average, slightly higher protein, which is nice, but the calories are a bit. Hopefully it tastes like the last grenade. Not the same, but nice. Okay, that one by far is the richest flavor we've had. The chocolate is great, and I can taste the Oreos in there. The Oreos are a little bit drier, so you get that texture flavor of the Oreos, which is a good thing. But then on the outside, it's chewy. And like I said, the chocolate flavor melts straight in your mouth, really rich, love it. S tier flavor. Nutritional value, not the greatest, not the worst, a little bit high on the calories. That is going in A tier. Now we have the Greenback protein bar, peanut butter. Looking at nutritional value, 222 calories and 11 grams of protein. So it's actually got more fat, 12 grams, than protein. And it's a protein bar. That's an F tier on the nutritional value. You can't be a protein bar if you got 11 grams of protein. The flavor is really good though. The chocolate, dark, rich flavor. Peanuts, good for the texture. Not super peanuttery. Not super flavorful with the peanut butter, but you can still taste it. The chocolate there though, that's a win. I'm gonna say it's an average tasting bar, maybe above average. Above average tasting bar, but with nutritional value like that, I'm gonna rank it a D. All right, now we're to the one which I thought would be the worst. Hopefully it's better than our last one. It's the Athena Luxe Protein Bar, choc caramel flavor. 15 grams of protein, a little bit lower, not the worst, 213 calories. So not the greatest nutritional value. Chocolate is good again. A little bit bitter this one. Chewy, slightly dry, nothing too bad. Certainly not the worst bar we had and a lot better than our last one. I'm gonna rank this one a C tier. All right, we're on to the last bar here. We got the Raw Bar Chocolate Crunch. Calories are 246 calories and 19.1 grams of protein. Probably slightly below average of nutritional value. I'm just hoping it's not as dry as the last bar. I thought this was gonna be the best. I don't think anything's beating the Grenade. All right, here we go. Okay, that's dry, crumbly, and it feels like I'm just eating oats raw with a bit of chocolate mixed in. Unfortunately, it's not the best bar. Nutritional value, below average. Taste, the taste is good. The texture though, and just the experience of eating it, not so good. I'm gonna rank this one a D. So that's my protein bar review. Hopefully your favorite made it towards the top. I'd love to know, put in the comments if one of these are your favorite or least favorite. My two favorite were from Grenade. So we got the peanut butter and Oreo. Only reason they weren't in S tier is because we're obviously taking the calories and protein into account. They're a little bit higher on the calorie side, but the taste, by far S tier. They're collagen chewy. That was by far the worst tasting. So that's the video. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more, and put it in the comments if you want me to review other things like energy drinks or other protein snacks. Don't worry, none of these are going to go to waste. Even these two, I'll make sure they get eaten, and hopefully my tummy doesn't disagree.